Hi, my name's Dolphin. I'm the Aquatic Invasive Species Coordinator for the Oregon State Marine Board, and that is Oregon's recreational boating agency. And today we're here at Tomahawk Bay Marina in Portland, and this is what is called an Oregon Certified Clean Marina. And the Oregon Certified Clean Marina program is a voluntary program for marinas to enroll in, and it's an environmental certification program. So these are facilities that have gone above and beyond just minimum environmental compliance, and they've implemented best management practices to help protect the environment. As part of that program, we require those facilities to post information, do outreach to boaters on aquatic invasive species. And so those facilities that participate in the program statewide meet those standards and do that work with their facility boaters. In Oregon, we have 47 certified clean marinas. We also have a sign-up list of facilities working through the standards, and we have 20 of facilities pledged. One way that clean marinas can meet the requirement of doing outreach to boaters on aquatic invasive species is to post signage at their facilities. The Oregon State Marine Board just recently developed a brand new marina/boat ramp sign called Stop Oregon's Invaders. In 2010, the state of Oregon started a new program called the Aquatic Invasive Species Prevention Program. Part of that program is that now recreational boaters are required to carry and purchase boating permits. The direct result of that is that the revenues generated by the sale of permits goes into a dedicated fund at the State Marine Board that we use to implement our statewide prevention efforts. We have three categories of boats that are required to get aquatic invasive species permits. The direct benefit of the permits is that the revenues go into a dedicated fund at the Marine Board used for our prevention efforts. Our first category of boats are the Oregon registered motor boats. These boats pay $5 every time they renew their boat registration, and the sticker on the boat is proof of payment into the program. Our second category of boats needing permits are out-of-state registered motor boats. Those boats need to purchase a paper permit. The cost is $20 per year, and they need to carry that on board while on Oregon waters. Those paper permits actually become transferable and are good for use on any non-resident motorboat out of Oregon in the state of Oregon being used. The third category of boats needing permits are non-motorized watercraft, 10 feet in length or longer. These boats must purchase a permit, carry it on board the boat. Only one person needs one per boat, and they also are transferable to use on other non-motorized boats. There's two different types of permits for this category. One is purchased from the Department of Fish and Wildlife at the state. It's a paper permit. The second option for boaters is to purchase one from the Marine Board, and these are what are called Tyvek tags. These tags are easily attached to boats, and they're color-coded depending on what year they expire, because in this category we have a 2-year option for boaters to purchase as well. The revenue generated from the sale of the new aquatic invasive species boat permits goes into a dedicated fund at the Marine Board. These funds are used by the Marine Board and also by the Department of Fish and Wildlife for the state. It's distributed equally between the two agencies to implement different aspects of the program. So during our first year, 2010, the state raised little over $1 million, and that was able to be used for the funding of a new boat inspection program by the Department of Fish and Wildlife. They've hired boat inspectors, they've purchased boat decontamination equipment, and they've purchased all their supplies to run boat inspection programs on highways and at boat ramps around the state. The Oregon State Marine Board uses its funds to primarily implement the permit program itself, and also to do outreach and education efforts to the boating public. We also have increased coordination with law enforcement officers statewide to implement and enforce our new permit program. And we've also been able to set aside a small amount of funding for future use in case of an emergency situation, with the hopes of in the near future having funding available for doing management projects or possibly building boat wash stations. As part of the state's education and outreach efforts, the Marine Board has helped coordinate many different projects over the last couple of years, specifically this last year, on our new invasive species prevention efforts. A lot of those efforts come down to interacting with boaters on the waterways while they're out there, and that has primarily been handed over to our law enforcement officers statewide. Marine Board contracts law enforcement officers from county sheriff departments and our state police, fish and wildlife troopers to do boating law enforcement. And through those efforts, because of our new permit program, officers interact with the public on a daily basis to inform them about aquatic invasive species issues and to talk to them about cleaning, draining, and drying their boats between uses. In addition to those efforts on the waterways, Marine Board has done several other projects throughout the state. We've posted billboards along highways. We've done new boat ramp signs to inform the public of these new laws and efforts to clean, drain, dry. We've done posters and brochures that now are at businesses around the state that sell boating supplies. Businesses also can sell the boating permits. We've done highway signage at our borders, informing the boating public that they are required to have a permit when in Oregon. We've also done interesting projects on our website, like developing video cartoons that speak to folks about the invaders coming in and washing them off boats. In addition, we've done lots of presentations and outreach efforts to boating clubs, fishing organizations, boating regattas, and events during our summertime that include boaters in events statewide. So as the Oregon State Marine Board is the recreational boating agency, we are very concerned about the potential impacts that zebra and quagga mussels will have to our boating facilities and our recreational boaters statewide. Recreational and tourism opportunities in the state are highly valued in the Pacific Northwest. We fear that the mussels, as we've seen in other states, they negatively affect boat engines. They attach to the hulls. They can create costly maintenance problems once they infest cooling systems of engines. They create drag on hulls that lower fuel efficiencies. When mussels enter facilities like marinas, they can affect the docks, the piers. They've been known to affect navigational buoys. The weight of mussels on buoys can cause them to sink, causing problems with safety on navigational channels. We are also fearful of the ramifications that the mussels would have on our pristine water bodies where we have beaches and high value fishing opportunities. These impacts can have negative ramifications for small businesses that rely on tourism in locations where people visit, and we're fearful that the mussels will cause people to not visit recreational areas that they would if the mussels weren't there. In the state of Oregon, we have approximately 180,000 registered motorboats. So in order for us to be successful in our efforts to prevent the spread of invasive species, we've really done a lot of outreach to those boaters to inform them how to clean their watercraft. We realize that we're not going to be able to stop the spread and inspect every boat in the state. So it's vital that Oregon boaters are informed on how to clean their watercraft and why it's so important to be on the lookout for watercraft that might be contaminated. We even ask the public to be informed, and if they feel they've come across a contaminated quagga mussel boat, we've encouraged them to contact our law enforcement officers to respond and investigate. Boaters are going to be the solution to this, and they're really going to help us be able to stop the spread of invasive species. We feel that recreational boaters in Oregon are really going to be part of the solution to stop the spread of invasive species, and that's why it's so important that they clean their watercraft after every use.